In the boundless expanse of an untouched void where no light shone and no sound echoed, there was only the silent anticipation of being. Before the turning of worlds, before the whisper of wind, before the first drop of dew, a majestic will stirred. And with an utterance that resonated through the eternal stillness, the very fabric of existence began to weave itself into being. "Let there be light," commanded the voice, and instantly a brilliant luminescence cleaved the darkness, painting the canvas of creation with the promise of dawn. This was the primordial dawn, the genesis of all that would ever be. From this radiant beginning, form emerged from formlessness. A firmament was stretched out, separating the swirling waters above from the depths below, crafting a vast, shimmering dome. Then, the waters beneath the sky were gathered into their designated places, revealing dry land, sturdy and waiting. The earth, still barren, received another divine decree, and with it burst forth into vibrant life. Lush grasses carpeted the plains, towering trees reached towards the nascent heavens, their branches heavy with fruit, and fragrant herbs scented the air, each bearing seeds of its own kind, ensuring a legacy of flourishing green. The third day gave way to the fourth, and in the newly illuminated sky, celestial bodies took their stations. A magnificent orb, the sun, blazed forth, destined to govern the day, while a gentle moon and countless twinkling stars were set to preside over the night, marking seasons, days, and years. They were cosmic beacons, silently proclaiming the intricate order of the cosmos. The waters, now teeming with life, brought forth countless swarms of living creatures, great whales and small fish, darting and dancing in their depths. The sky, in turn, became home to every winged bird, soaring on currents of air, their songs a symphony of new life. Each creature was blessed and commanded to multiply, to fill their respective domains with the wonder of their existence. Finally, the pinnacle of creation arrived. From the rich dust of the earth, shaped by hands of divine artistry, came a form unlike any other. It lay still, perfect in its design, awaiting the spark of life. Then, with a moment of profound intimacy, the Creator leaned in and breathed into its nostrils the breath of life. This was the first breath, a miraculous infusion that stirred inert clay into a living soul. With a gasp, the being opened its eyes, seeing the world for the very first time. Adam, for that was his name, rose, standing tall and whole, bearing the very image and likeness of his Maker. He was placed in a garden of unparalleled beauty, Eden, a paradise cultivated with every tree pleasant to the sight and good for food. In its heart stood two trees of profound significance, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Adam was given stewardship over this Eden, tasked to tend and keep it. He was free to eat from any tree, save one. From the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, came the gentle yet firm instruction, for in the day that you eat of it you shall surely die. Though Eden was perfect, a sense of solitude persisted. It was not good for man to be alone, so as Adam slept a deep, profound sleep, a rib was taken from his side. From this bone, a new form was fashioned, brought into being with the same care and intention. When Adam awoke, he beheld her, graceful, beautiful, and utterly kindred. "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman," he declared, recognizing their inseparable connection. Eve, as she would be known, was his equal, his companion, a perfect complement. Together they walked in the cool of the day, in innocent communion with their Creator, clothed in light and untainted by shame, the vibrant heart of a perfect world. The cosmic dawn, before a single star ignited, before time itself had a name, there was only an echoing silence, a boundless, formless void. Then, with a powerful whisper, the Creator spoke, "Let there be light," and glory exploded, painting the emptiness with unimaginable hues. Darkness receded, giving way to the first day. From this nascent brilliance, waters were divided, forming a vast expanse above and below. On the second day, a boundless sky arched. Below, waters gathered, revealing dry land. Upon this earth, by divine decree, vibrant green life burst forth. Lush grasses, towering trees, heavy with fruit and seed, each bearing its own kind. A silent symphony of growth, preparing for what was to come. Life unleashed. The Creator's work continued. On the fourth day, the heavens were adorned with celestial jewels, the brilliant sun for day, the gentle moon for night, countless stars marking seasons. Then the waters teemed with life, glittering fish, majestic whales, every aquatic form. Above, the sky filled with feathered wonders, from soaring eagles to delicate hummingbirds, their songs echoing. The earth itself stirred, bringing forth creeping things, scurrying creatures, and mighty beasts, lions, elephants, deer. Life, in all its myriad forms, pulsed with divine vitality, each creature a testament to its maker's boundless creativity. The breath of life. Yet, for all this grandeur, a crucial element was missing, a being made in the Creator's own image, with thought and stewardship. So, from the very dust of the earth, the Creator fashioned a man, every feature, every sinew, meticulously sculpted. But the figure remained inert. Then, with a gentle, profound breath, the Creator infused the man with life's essence. His eyes fluttered open. Adam, the first of humankind, blinked into existence, a soul awakened, a heart beating with purpose. He stood in a world crafted for him, a world of unimaginable beauty and peace, ready for his divine task, to tend and keep the paradise bestowed. Eden's embrace. For Adam, a special haven was prepared, the Garden of Eden. Here, crystalline rivers murmured, their waters pure. Trees laden with succulent fruits grew in profusion, their branches always within reach. Every flower bloomed in vibrant hues, filling the air with intoxicating fragrances. In the garden's heart stood two unique trees, the tree of life, promising immortality, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, its purpose yet to be revealed. The Creator gave Adam one clear commandment: of every tree you may eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not, for in the day you eat of it you shall surely die. A helper fit for him. Though Adam found joy in naming creatures and exploring Eden, loneliness stirred. He saw pairs among animals, but no suitable companion. The Creator declared, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." While Adam slept deeply, the Creator took a rib and fashioned another being. When Adam awoke and beheld her, exquisite and graceful, a profound connection ignited. He named her Eve, mother of all living. Together, Adam and Eve, clothed in innocence, walked hand in hand through Eden, stewards of paradise, their hearts pure. Unbeknownst, a subtle shadow, ancient and cunning, already coiled amidst the forbidden tree's branches, observing, waiting. Their innocent bliss was about to be challenged.
The formative days. Darkness retreated, yielding to the glorious dawn that the Creator had commanded. The radiant light, vibrant and pure, spread across the immeasurable expanse, chasing away the remnants of the formless void. It was not merely illumination, but a living presence, casting nascent shadows and hinting at depths yet to be explored. And the Creator, observing his handiwork, called the light day, and the lingering, deep silence that gave way to the light he called night. Thus the first cycle was established, a rhythm of existence woven into the very fabric of time. The evening passed, and the morning came, the first day. Then the Creator's voice resonated once more through the nascent cosmos, a melody of divine purpose. "Let there be an expanse between the waters to separate water from water," he declared, and with his word a mighty separation began. From the chaotic swirl of primordial waters, an invisible yet powerful dome began to ascend. It stretched ever upwards, pushing back the dense, vaporous mist that clung to the nascent world, forming a vast, transparent ceiling. Beneath this ethereal canopy, the remaining waters settled, restless and profound. Above it, the displaced waters gathered, an ocean suspended in the heavens, veiled by a thin, shimmering membrane. The firmament was a breathtaking testament to order emerging from disarray, a clear boundary marking the separation of the celestial from the terrestrial. And the Creator called this majestic expanse sky. The evening passed, and the morning came, the second day. Again, the powerful utterance of the Creator filled the void. Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. Immediately, the great waters beneath the sky began to stir with purpose. They churned and receded, pulling back from vast swathes of the world, obeying an unseen command. Slowly, majestically, land began to emerge, colossal plates of rock and soil, rising from the watery depths like sleeping giants awakening. Mountains sculpted themselves into being, valleys deepened, and sprawling plains stretched out under the newly formed sky. The waters, now confined, collected into immense basins, forming vast, shimmering seas that sparkled under the ethereal light. The dry land, stark and unadorned, pulsed with a latent energy. But the Creator's work for this day was not yet complete. Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it according to their various kinds. And at his command, the barren earth burst forth in an explosion of life and color. From the newly exposed foil, tiny shoots of green unfurled, rapidly transforming into fields of lush grass, herbs fragrant with unseen blossoms, and towering trees laden with vibrant fruits. Each plant, each seed, was meticulously crafted, bearing within itself the blueprint for endless replication, ensuring the perpetuation of its kind. The silent, stark landscape was instantaneously draped in a verdant tapestry, a living, breathing testament to the Creator's boundless creativity and intricate design. The air filled with the fresh scent of chlorophyll and fertile soil. The evening passed, and the morning came, the third day. The world was now a vibrant, distinct canvas, ready for the next strokes of divine artistry. Through the infinite silence, a sound unlike any before or since. It was a resonant thrum, a vibration that pulsed through the very fabric of non-existence, carrying within it the blueprint of all that would ever be. And with the final, echoing syllable, a command was issued from the boundless will. Let there be light. And just as the word had left the eternal lips, so too did light explode into being. It wasn't merely the absence of darkness. It was a vibrant, living presence, warm and pure, surging forth like a celestial tide. It pushed back the shroud of the void, revealing for the first time the vast, immeasurable expanse that had previously held only silent anticipation. Streaks of brilliant gold and fiery crimson painted across the nascent canvas, chasing shadows into forgotten corners, defining the very concept of space. The universe, which had been a nameless nothing, suddenly had form, depth, and a breathtaking, radiant glow. The light itself was a character, a gentle yet undeniable force. It separated itself from the lingering darkness, not through conflict, but with a serene, purposeful demarcation. The will, seeing that the light was good, called the light day and the darkness night. And so the first cycle began, a rhythmic pulse in the heart of creation. The evening and the morning were the first day. Yet this nascent world was still an ocean without shores, a vast swirling expanse of waters. On the second day, a new command stirred the cosmic waters, calling forth a division, a magnificent dome to separate what was above from what was below. And with a majestic exhalation, as if the very universe took the first breath, a firmament stretched itself across the infinite, a vast, shimmering canopy of azure. It was the sky, a profound and boundless blue, holding the waters above in ethereal reservoirs, while the waters below swirled beneath it. This separation was named heaven,
a testament to the soaring heights and unseen depths now contained within the nascent cosmos. The evening and the morning were the second day. The third day dawned, bringing with it a longing for solid ground, for a place where life to take root and flourish. The will spoke again, and across the boundless waters a tremor began. Mighty currents stirred, pulling together the disparate seas into fast, shimmering oceans. And as the waters receded, groaning and churning, land began to emerge. Slowly, majestically, mountains rose like sleeping giants awakening from an eternal slumber, their peaks piercing the newly formed sky. Valleys unfolded, flat plains stretched out, and the first dry ground appeared, solid and firm beneath the celestial canopy. This dry land was called Earth, and the gathering of the waters was named seas. But the earth was not meant to be barren. No sooner had the dry ground revealed itself than another divine impulse swept across its surface. From the rich, dark soil, life began to stir. Not yet the creatures of flight or limb, but the gentle, persistent burgeoning of green. Grasses unfurled their tender blades, herbs pushed through the soil, offering their seeds, and trees, ancient and noble in their potential, began to sprout, each bearing fruit with its own seed within. A carpet of emerald and jade began to spread, breathing color and verdant promise into the pristine world. The silent earth, which had once been only anticipation, was now vibrant, alive, a testament to the creative power that continued to unfold with each passing moment, each deliberate word. The evening and the morning were the third day. The stage was set, exquisitely prepared for the wonders yet to come.
Boundless source of all existence. For an eternal moment, the infinite silence held its breath, if silence could indeed breathe, poised on the precipice of transformation. Then, as if the very fabric of non-being had been rent by an unseen hand, a fissure appeared. It was not a crack in anything material, for matter was yet a dream. Rather, it was a tearing in the concept of nothingness itself. From this nascent rift, a nascent tremor escalated, not the thrumming echo of the blueprint from before, but an entirely new vibration, a hum that intensified with an unfathomable speed. This was the arrival of the first breath. It wasn't air as creatures would one day know it, nor a gust of wind across a nascent landscape. Instead, it was the primal exhalation of creation itself, a living, vibrant force that surged forth from the boundless source, carrying the potent charge of the issued command. This breath was the very essence of vitality and form, the animating principle that would give substance to the divine utterance. With its surge, the lingering shroud of utter darkness was not simply dispelled, but violently broken. And with an intensity that defied all previous conceptions of perception, there was light. Not a gentle dawning, nor a creeping illumination, but an instantaneous, all-encompassing flood that erupted into being. It poured forth with a blinding, majestic brilliance that was absolute, pure, and utterly without shadow. This was not light reflected or refracted, but light in its most fundamental, unadulterated form, the very definition of luminescence. It roared silently through the void, pushing back the endless darkness, not conquering it by force, but redefining its existence. The endless, formless expanse, which had known only the inert stillness of nothing, was now saturated with a vibrant, pulsating energy. It was incandescent, overwhelming, a living fire that contained within it the promise of every star, every sunbeam, every flicker of consciousness yet to be. The majestic will, having spoken and breathed life into its command, now observed its creation. The light was good, an affirmation that resonated through the newly formed brilliance. The stark contrast between this radiant, living light and the retreating, bewildered darkness was profound. With deliberate purpose,
the majestic will separated the light from the darkness, establishing an eternal rhythm, a fundamental order that would govern all subsequent creation. And the majestic will called the light day, and the darkness it called night. The very first cycle of existence was established, a rhythmic pulse that marked the dawn of time. The immense power of the first breath, though unseen, continued to infuse the newly separated realms, ensuring the integrity of the light and the measured retreat of the night. And there was evening and there was morning, the first day. This silent anticipation of being was replaced by the resounding reality of being, and the stage was set for the unfolding of wonders yet untold.
The expanse above. Darkness retreated, yielding to the glorious dawn that the Creator had commanded. The radiant light, vibrant and pure, spread across the immeasurable expanse, chasing away the remnants of the formless void. It was not merely illumination, but a living presence, casting new definitions upon the vast, swirling chaos that remained. The light pulsed with an inherent energy, a silent hum that resonated through the nascent cosmos, beginning to delineate what was and what was not. Beneath the burgeoning light, an endless, turbulent sea of primeval waters churned. It was an oceanic abyss, deep and fathomless, reflecting the nascent glow in a million shimmering, unformed surfaces. The waters were not yet still. They writhed and heaved, a testament to the raw, untamed power that filled the universe. It was a world of liquid, boundless and wild, reaching to an unseen ceiling that hinted at the unknown. And then the Creator spoke again, with a voice that echoed through the watery depths and vibrated through the newly established light. Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. With this declaration, a profound transformation began. From the very heart of the turbulent ocean, a vast, invisible dome began to rise. It pushed upward with inconceivable force, not violently, but with an inherent, graceful authority. The colossal volume of water was compelled to obey. It split, groaning as in primordial birth. A magnificent, transparent canopy stretched itself out, forming an immense, breathtaking expanse. Some of the waters were drawn upwards, held aloft by the newly formed firmament, creating an ethereal sea above. These celestial waters shimmered, reflecting the Creator's light from an unimaginable height, a pristine, shimmering veil draped across the heavens. Below, the remaining waters settled, though still vast and restless, now bound by an invisible ceiling that reached further than any eye could fathom. The Creator looked upon this magnificent separation, seeing the orderly division, the grand design taking shape. And God called the expanse heaven. Thus, the vast azure dome we know as the sky was established, a clear delineation between the chaotic waters below and the pristine waters above. It was a breathtaking act of cosmic architecture, bringing order where only endless fluidity had existed moments before. The firmament was not merely an empty space, it was a structure, a colossal framework holding the universe in its divine embrace, a testament to the Creator's boundless power and meticulous vision. The first day had been marked by the arrival of light. The second day witnessed the creation of boundaries, of separation, bringing a nascent structure to the infinite. The sun had not yet been hung in the heavens, nor the moon and stars, but the light itself served its purpose, illuminating the new architecture. The universe was no longer a formless void, nor a singular watery mass. It was now a realm divided, with an expanse that sang of purpose and design. And evening came and morning came, the second day.
The stage was being set, patiently, powerfully, for the wonders yet to unfold upon the nascent world, still submerged in its watery cradle. The silence of the void was long gone, replaced by the quiet, powerful hum of creation.
The firmament's ascent. The glorious dawn, a living presence, continued to cast its vibrant light, not merely illuminating the vast emptiness, but now beginning to define it. The formless void, once an undifferentiated canvas of potential, was ready for new boundaries, new structures. Beneath the nascent light, boundless waters swirled, an immense primordial ocean without shore or discernible depth, a mirror to the chaos that still lingered. The creator observed this liquid expanse, a vast, swirling entity that threatened to engulf all, yet also held the promise of life within its depths. Then a divine thought rippled through the cosmic silence, a thought of separation, of order from the fluid unboundedness. Again, the powerful voice resonated, not as a thunderclap, but as a deep, resonant hum that permeated the very fabric of existence. Let there be an expanse between the waters to separate water from water. With these words, an invisible yet profoundly palpable force began to stir within the watery realm. Mists coiled and parted, ethereal currents flowed upwards, and a vast, transparent dome, impossibly immense, began to stretch across the newly illuminated sphere. It ascended not with a sound, but with a palpable sense of grandeur, a colossal architecture built of pure energy and divine will. This expanse, delicate yet unyielding, rose higher and higher, pushing back the chaotic waters that had permeated everything. It was a barrier, a shield, and a canopy all at once, an act of cosmic architecture that created a new dimension within the nascent universe. Below this majestic firmament, the greater body of water settled, vast and deep, shimmering under the soft primary light, a realm of profound mystery. Above it, held in pristine suspension, were the ethereal waters, the source of future rains and mists, now perfectly contained, separate and distinct. The expanse stood as a monumental testament to order, a clear boundary between realms, a celestial vault that would forever define the upper from the lower. The Creator looked upon this magnificent work, this profound separation of the fluid chaos, and called the expanse sky. The newly formed sky was not yet the familiar blue, but a shimmering tapestry of emerging hues, reflecting the interplay of the primary light and the waters it divided. It was a canvas awaiting the sun, moon, and stars, yet even now it held an inherent beauty, a promise of what was to come. A gentle cosmic breath, the very exhalation of creation, began to stir within this newly structured space, carrying with it the scent of potential. The previous void was now taking on shape and dimension, no longer a mere emptiness, but a series of defined spaces, each with its purpose. The distinction between the watery chaos below and the nascent atmosphere above became absolute, a profound act of ordering from the infinite. And the boundless expanse, once a whisper, was now a grand, silent declaration of the Creator's design. This was the completion of the second day, a monumental step in the unfolding of all that would ever be. The dividing expanse. The boundless canvas, once an undifferentiated expanse of raw potential, stirred with a new, profound purpose. The radiant light, now more than mere illumination, pulsed with an architectural intent, pressing against the formless void that still held vast, swirling oceans of uncontained water. The Creator's will, a silent symphony orchestrating the grand design, had set in motion the defining act. With another sublime decree resonating through the nascent cosmos, the Creator spoke, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters,
and let it separate the waters from the waters. And so it was. From the swirling depths, an immense, translucent barrier began to crystallize. It was not a solid wall, but a vast, shimmering dome, an ethereal expanse that pulsed with the very light it now contained. With an unimaginable yet silent exertion of divine power, this firmament rose. It expanded outward, upward, and downward, pressing against the chaotic, liquid mass that had permeated everything. Imagine a painter's masterful stroke sweeping across the canvas, but instead of paint, it was pure energy, pure intent, drawing an invisible line that would forever alter the cosmic landscape. The waters, once a singular, interwoven tapestry of liquid chaos, now began their great segregation. Below the newly formed firmament, vast bodies of water gathered, pooling into immense, embryonic oceans, still fluid and formless, awaiting further definition. Above the firmament, a majestic, ethereal reservoir of water was suspended, held aloft as if by an invisible, divine hand. These were the waters above the firmament, glistening and mysterious, a celestial canopy mirroring the depths below. The firmament itself, immense and majestic, stretched across the cosmos, a breathtaking dome of crystalline blue. It was the birth of the sky, the very essence of above and below being etched into the fabric of existence. Where before there was an endless, undifferentiated dampness, now there was a clear division. This vast, shimmering expanse became the boundary, the great divider, holding the breath of future storms above and shielding the nascent lands below. The act was not one of violence, but of gentle yet absolute separation. The waters parted like a cosmic curtain, revealing the immense, breathtaking scale of the Creator's design. The firmament was not merely a physical structure. It was the birth of atmosphere, the blueprint for the very air that would one day be breathed. It was the space where clouds would form, where winds would whisper, where the heavens would declare their glory. The Creator looked upon this magnificent separation, upon the firmament that now grandly arched between the waters above and the waters below, and bestowed upon it a name. And God called the firmament Heaven, a name that echoed with power, with promise, and with the silent beauty of order finally emerging from the primal formlessness. The radiant light which had initiated this grand act bathed the newly established heavens in a gentle glow, marking the completion of this magnificent second epoch. And the evening and the morning were the second day. The stage was now set, more defined, more structured, for the wonders yet to unfold. The cosmic canvas was no longer a blank slate, but a realm of segregated elements poised for life.
The unveiling of Earth. The boundless canvas, stirred by the Creator's profound purpose, vibrated with an escalating energy. The radiant light, no longer just a mere illumination, but a focused force, pressed with an architectural intent against the vast, swirling oceans that still enveloped everything below the newly formed firmament. From the heart of the great silence, a new command resonated, powerful and precise, piercing the watery depths and the ethereal expanse above. Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. It was a decree of magnificent separation, a profound act of ordering chaos. With an unseen yet undeniably colossal force, the sprawling, tumultuous waters began to obey. Like an immense cosmic tide, the lower waters churned and receded, pulled back from where they had endlessly roamed. Great masses of liquid, once unified and boundless, now swirled inward, gathering into colossal basins that would become the deep, mysterious seas. The very fabric of the young creation groaned and shifted under the divine pressure. As the waters withdrew, the contours of a new reality began to emerge, unveiled from their watery shroud. Slowly, majestically, the dry land pushed upward, breaking the surface of the vast ocean with a silent, resolute power. First, the jagged peaks of nascent mountains pierced the surface,
dark silhouettes against the glowing firmament. Then sweeping plains and rolling hills, valleys and ravines revealed themselves in an unfolding panorama of virgin earth. The stark, wet terrain, glistening under the nascent light, breathed its first air, firm and unwavering beneath the newly defined sky. The Creator, observing the astonishing transformation, bestowed names upon these emerging wonders, giving identity to the nascent world. The vast dry expanses, now freed from the all-encompassing waters, were called land. The collected deep reservoirs of water, shimmering and vast, were named seas, and the expansive, shimmering dome above, separating the waters from the waters, was called sky. Each designation was an affirmation of purpose, a crystallization of form, imbuing the raw elements with distinct meaning and function. Yet the land, though now separate and firm, was bare, a canvas awaiting its first strokes of life. The Creator's voice resonated once more, a gentle yet potent command that rippled through the freshly revealed earth. Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. Immediately, as if roused from a deep slumber, the land responded. From its fertile depths, life erupted in an explosion of green. Patches of vibrant grass unfurled across the plains, soft carpets spreading with astonishing speed. Delicate herbs, laden with the promise of future generations, pushed their tender shoots toward the light. And then majestic trees, heavy with blossoms and nascent fruit, burst forth, their branches reaching for the firmament, their roots anchoring deep within the virgin soil. Every plant, every leaf, every bloom was a testament to instantaneous creation, a marvel of form and function. Colors previously unseen in their earthly manifestation bloomed across the landscape, verdant greens, earthy browns, and the first hints of floral brilliance. The air itself seemed to sweeten, perfumed by the countless new growths. The land, once stark and bare, was now a vibrant tapestry of life, teeming with potential and beauty, ready for the next stage of creation. And the Creator saw that it was good. The world was taking shape, a magnificent stage set for the unfolding drama of existence.
The earth takes form. The Creator's intent, a silent, all-encompassing will, now intensified its pressure upon the formless waters that had for so long dominated the nascent world. What had been a vast, churning chaos, an unbroken expanse of fluid potential, began to respond with an almost palpable tremor. Deep beneath the surface, where light had yet to fully penetrate, colossal shifts commenced. It was a symphony of geological power, orchestrated by the singular voice that had first commanded light itself. Slowly at first, then with increasing momentum, the great swirling oceans began to recede, their immense volume obeying an unseen decree. Like a cosmic sculptor molding clay, the Creator gathered the waters, coaxing them away from nascent peaks and nascent valleys. Imagine the might required to command such an exodus, to draw back such an unimaginable quantity of liquid, revealing what lay beneath. The ceaseless roar of the retreating tides became the anthem of a new beginning, a profound transformation echoing across the boundless expanse. From the depths, dark and mysterious, the first solid forms began to emerge. Jagged peaks, still glistening with the residue of ancient waters, scraped against the vibrant, newly defined atmosphere. Broad plains, damp and virgin, stretched out like waiting canvases, eager for their first touch of life. Valleys unfurled, cradling the last vestiges of the retreating seas, ready to become the beds of future rivers. The Creator was not merely moving water. He was unveiling grandeur. He was shaping contours, etching indelible features onto the face of creation. The waters, in their retreat, did not vanish. Instead, they gathered. Guided by an invisible hand, they flowed into colossal basins, forming vast, interconnected bodies. These were not the chaotic, swirling masses of before, but defined, bounded expanses, shimmering under the radiant light.
The deep blues and greens of these newly formed bodies of water contrasted starkly with the emerging brown and gray of the land, creating a visual masterpiece of scale and power. With a whisper that carried the weight of infinite authority, the Creator named his magnificent works. The solid, unwavering expanse that had risen from the deep, the foundation for all that was to come, he called Earth. And the vast, deep reservoirs where the waters had congregated, the boundaries they now respected, he designated seas. Each name resonated with purpose, anchoring these foundational elements in the fabric of existence. The transformation was complete, a monumental act of differentiation. Where once there was an undifferentiated watery void, there now stood distinct realms, the firmament above, the dry land below, and the gathering of waters. The silence that followed was not empty, but filled with the profound satisfaction of creation. And the Creator, observing the majestic panorama of dry land and boundless seas, saw that it was truly good. The canvas was now prepared, sculpted and named, ready for the intricate brushstrokes of life itself. The first steps towards populating this magnificent world had been taken, marking the close of another formative epoch in the grand design.
The verdant earth unveiled. The Creator's intent, a silent, all-encompassing will, now intensified its pressure upon the formless waters that had so long dominated the nascent world. The vast, churning chaos, an unbroken expanse of fluid potential, began to respond with tangible urgency. With unstoppable yet gentle force, the waters were commanded to recede, gathering into appointed places. Mighty currents, once arbitrary, swirled with purpose, drawing the immense liquid body away from what was destined to become solid ground. Slowly, majestically, the hidden bedrock began to rise. Jagged peaks, sprawling plains, and undulating hills emerged from the profound depths, shedding their watery shroud. The earth, scarred and raw, yet breathtaking in its pristine unveiling, stretched forth, vast and silent, drying under the nascent light. The Creator looked upon this emerging land and called it Earth. The gathered waters, shimmering, were named seas, and the Creator saw that it was good, a perfect separation, a foundational order now established. But the earth, though vast and firm, was barren. A profound silence hung over its expanses, devoid of life's vibrant hum. The Creator, whose vision spanned beyond mere form, now spoke again, a quiet decree rippling through existence. Let the earth sprout forth vegetation, plants yielding seeds, and fruit trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind, on the earth. No sooner had the divine word settled than a miraculous transformation swept across the newly formed world. From the newly dried soil, a subtle tremor began, a deep vibration of burgeoning life. Tiny green shoots pushed through the dusty surface, reaching towards the light. Then, with breathtaking speed, the landscape began to bloom. Carpets of emerald grass unfurled across the plains, soft underfoot, swaying gently. Delicate, vibrant flowers, hitherto unseen, exploded in a riot of color, their petals unfurling in silent celebration, each promising new life with its intricate seed. Stout shrubs and slender reeds burst forth along new waterways, their leaves glistening. Magnificent trees shot upwards from the soil, their branches unfurling with lush foliage, heavy with blossoms that promised succulent fruits. Apple, fig, date, olive, and myriad other species, each unique, materialized across the landscape, laden with sustenance and propagation. Every leaf, every blossom, every nascent fruit held within it the blueprint for its continuation, a tiny perfect seed ensuring the cycle of life. The once barren earth was now a tapestry of green and gold, a symphony of textures and aromas. Verdant valleys stretched to meet rolling hills, crowned with forests whose shadows danced under the emerging light. The air, once still, now carried the subtle fragrance of blossoms and fresh earth.
From the deepest wood's towering canopy to the tenderest blade of grass swaying on a sun-drenched meadow, life flourished in boundless abundance, a testament to the Creator's boundless imagination and power. And the Creator saw all that had been made on this third day, the dry land, the gathering of the waters, and the explosion of vegetation across the earth, and declared it profoundly good. The stage was set, a vibrant, living world now ready for its next great act.
The verdant tapestry. The third day, having witnessed the dramatic separation of land and sea, still held a profound silence over the newly sculpted earth. Vast plains of dry ochre earth stretched towards infant mountains, their stark beauty undeniable, yet unadorned. The great seas shimmered under the burgeoning light, their surfaces reflecting a sky still nascent, awaiting further definition. But the Creator's work for this day was not yet complete. A new, vibrant symphony was poised to erupt from the very soil, a testament to the boundless imagination that fueled the cosmic dawn. With another whisper, a command imbued with the very essence of life, the Creator spoke into the silence. Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds. And as the divine utterance resonated through the nascent atmosphere, the earth, like a loyal servant awaiting instruction, began to stir. It was not a gradual blossoming, but a breathtaking, instantaneous eruption of green. From the barren, dusty plains, tendrils of life began to push through the soil. First a subtle shimmer, then a faint green haze, rapidly intensifying into a verdant carpet that spread with astonishing speed. Delicate blades of grass unfurled, painting the once naked ground in countless shades of emerald and jade. Tiny, intricate herbs, each with its unique leaf and potential bloom, sprang forth, their fragrant essences beginning to mingle with the clean scent of fresh earth and sea air. But the transformation did not stop at the ground level. As if awakened from a long slumber, the newly formed hillsides and valleys began to sprout with a magnificent array of trees. Mighty trunks, gnarled and strong, burst from the earth, reaching skyward with an inherent urgency. Their branches, at first bare, swiftly unfurled a canopy of leaves, filtering the Creator's light into a dappled, dancing mosaic on the forest floor. And upon these branches, almost immediately, appeared buds that swelled and burst into glorious blossoms, which in turn matured into ripe, succulent fruits. Apples glowed crimson, figs swelled purple, and countless other species, each according to its kind, hung heavy and abundant, their seeds already nestled within, ready to carry the lineage forward. The earth, once a stark dichotomy of rock and water, was now a living canvas, a pulsating tapestry of vibrant greens, earthy browns, and the nascent riot of floral and fruity colors. Forests, meadows, and groves now adorned the landscapes, offering shelter, sustenance, and a beauty previously imaginable. Every leaf, every petal, every seed was a masterpiece of design, perfectly suited to its environment, brimming with the potential for countless generations. The silent winds that swept across the plains carried the sweet, earthy perfumes of growth and life, a testament to the divine breath that had brought it all into being. The Creator surveyed this magnificent, living mantle that now cloaked the earth. From the towering forests that climbed the mountain slopes to the humble blades of grass that carpeted the valleys, from the deepest roots anchoring the soil to the highest fruits ripening in the sun, it was all perfectly ordered, self-sustaining, and teeming with an intrinsic vitality. And the Creator surveyed everything that had been made on this third day, the dry land, the gathering of the waters, and now the glorious, abundant vegetation, and behold, it was very good. Evening came and morning followed, marking the conclusion of the third day. The earth was now ready, a fertile cradle awaiting the next chapter of creation. The profound silence that had settled upon the newly sculpted earth, though majestic in its own right, now held an anticipation, a quiet hum beneath the surface of the dry ochre plains and infant mountains. The great seas shimmered, reflecting a sky still in its formative purity, but the land itself awaited a touch, a breath of life to soften its stark, unyielding contours. The Creator's gaze, omniscient and benevolent, swept across the vast, empty landscapes. His intention, a divine blueprint, was already etched into the very fabric of existence, waiting only for his command. And then the whisper came again, a resonant wave of creative energy that permeated the newly solidified earth, sinking into its deepest strata, stirring the dormant potential within every particle of soil. Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it according to their various kinds. At once, as if awakened from an age-old slumber, the earth responded. It was not a gradual sprouting, a slow crawl of green, but an explosion of life, instantaneous and breathtaking in its scope. From the dusty plains, the first tender shoots of grass unfurled, emerald blades piercing the ochre surface with astonishing speed. They spread like a verdant carpet, transforming the barren expanses into soft meadows, rippling gently in a breeze that had only just learned to whisper. Beside them, delicate herbs pushed their way upwards, their stems laden with tiny, intricate leaves and the promise of future sustenance. Flowers, in a kaleidoscope of colors hitherto unimagined, burst forth, painting the landscape with splashes of crimson, gold, sapphire, and violet. Petals unfurled in perfect symmetry, each bloom a miniature masterpiece, exhaling a fragrance that mingled with the fresh scent of damp earth, filling the air with a sweet, invigorating perfume. But the transformation did not stop at the ground level. Where before only rock and soil defined the higher elevations, now mighty trunks began to ascend, reaching for the heavens. Trees of countless varieties, each bearing its own unique shape and texture, pushed skyward with unimaginable force. Their branches, thick and gnarled or slender and graceful, spread wide, immediately adorned with lush foliage. Leaves from broad, glossy palms to delicate, trembling willows, unfurled in myriad shades of green, rustling softly as if in silent praise. And nestled amongst these leaves, perfect fruits began to form, plump and vibrant, heavy with the promise of seed within. Apples gleamed ruby red, oranges glowed like miniature suns, and figs ripened on the branch, each a testament to the Creator's boundless generosity and foresight. Every tree, every plant, every blade of grass bore its seed within itself, ensuring a perpetual cycle of growth, a self-sustaining abundance that would nourish the world for ages to come. The once stark, silent earth was now a living tapestry, a vibrant, breathing ecosystem teeming with verdant life. Mountainsides that had been barren were now clothed in rich forests, their peaks crowned with ancient, hardy pines. Valleys flowed with rivers bordered by weeping willows and flowering shrubs. The air hummed not with silence, but with the gentle rustle of leaves, the soft sway of grasses, and the vibrant, invisible energy of growth. It was a garden before the garden, a global Eden blooming forth under the Creator's touch, perfectly ordered, wondrously diverse, and gloriously alive. The third day concluded with this magnificent unveiling, the earth now truly prepared, clothed in splendor, awaiting its next grand act. The anticipation that had shimmered on the nascent earth, a silent, profound hum beneath the surface of the newly sculpted lands, now reached its crescendo. The Creator's command, issued with unwavering intent, resonated through every particle of the dry, ochre plains and the infant mountains. What had been barren, though beautiful in its starkness, was poised for an explosion of life, a transformative breath that would clothe the world in a tapestry of unimaginable green. Then, as if a single invisible hand swept across the vast landscapes, life erupted. It began subtly, a faint verdant blush staining the parched earth, a whisper of green emerging from the dust. But subtlety quickly gave way to exuberance. From the smallest crevices, through the rich, dark soil, tendrils of vibrant green burst forth. First, the delicate blades of grass, like countless emerald hairs, unfurled across the plains, carpeting them in a soft, living blanket that seemed to breathe with the world's new vitality. Each blade, intricately veined, drew strength from the deep earth, reaching towards the light. Next came the herbs, their leaves varied in shape and texture, their forms more complex, hinting at the diversity yet to come. They sprang up in profusion, dotting the grassy expanses with their unique hues and delicate structures. Some were low-lying and spreading, others rose with graceful stems, their unopened buds holding secrets of future blossoms. The air, once solely tasting of damp earth and saline sea, now carried a faint, fresh fragrance, the first olfactory signature of burgeoning life. But the most dramatic transformation was yet to come. With a silent, majestic power, the Creator commanded the earth to yield trees, bearing fruit, each according to its kind, with its seed in itself. And as his word echoed, the very ground seemed to stretch and push, giving birth to giants. Slender saplings shot upwards, their trunks thickening and strengthening with breathtaking speed. Branches unfurled like ancient arms, reaching for the heavens, adorned with leaves of every shade of green, from deep forest hues to shimmering lime. Roots delved deep, anchoring these magnificent structures to the bedrock of the world. Forests bloomed where only bare earth had been moments before. Valleys were shaded by colossal canopies, mountainsides adorned with groves of diverse species. There were trees with smooth, silvery bark, and those with rugged, gnarled trunks, trees that would bear succulent fruits, and those with sturdy wood destined for future purposes. Each fruit, perfectly formed, nestled among the leaves, holding within it the promise of generations, a testament to the Creator's infinite design and foresight. The world became a vibrant, living canvas, a testament to the instantaneous power of a divine decree. The great seas, still shimmering under the formative sky, now looked upon a land utterly transformed. Where once there was only the interplay of ochre and rock, there was now a glorious, undulating tapestry of green. The silence was no longer that of anticipation, but of reverence, a quiet wonder at the sheer, overwhelming beauty that had been born from a single command. The third day, marked by the separation of waters and the miraculous springing forth of life, concluded with the earth adorned in its first magnificent gown of living green, ready for the next chapter of creation, under a sky that still awaited its own finishing touches.
The Celestial Tapestry. The third day had concluded, leaving behind a world transformed beyond recognition. Where once had been barren plains and swirling waters, now stretched a verdant miracle. Forests, thick with ancient-looking trees, reached their newly formed branches skyward, their leaves, emerald, jade, and every conceivable shade of green, wrestling with a gentle, unheard whisper. Delicate wildflowers, splashed across meadows like vibrant paint, unfurled their petals to absorb the soft, pervasive light that still enveloped the nascent earth. Tall grasses swayed in unison, forming rolling carpets that stretched to the horizon, dotted with ripening fruit and budding seeds, each according to its kind. The air, purified and sweetened by the abundant photosynthesis, hummed with a quiet, burgeoning vitality. It was a masterpiece of life, blooming from a silent command. Yet even this breathtaking beauty existed under a diffuse, generalized glow, a glorious light, but one without a source, without a focal point, without the distinct rhythm of specific celestial bodies. A new dawn broke, not with a burst of new light, but with a deepening of purpose. The Creator, surveying the flourishing world, perceived the need for order, for definition, for the grand clockwork that would govern the passage of time. The boundless firmament, now a vast clear expanse above the blooming earth, awaited its definitive adornment, its ultimate purpose. With a voice that resonated not through sound waves, but through the very fabric of existence, the Creator spoke once more. Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Instantly, the diffuse glow that had bathed the world coalesced, intensified, and dramatically split. With a sudden, awe-inspiring genesis, a colossal orb of incandescent fire blazed into existence. It was the sun, a magnificent, molten heart in the sky, radiating an intensity of warmth and a pure golden effulgence that had hitherto been unimaginable. Its debut was not merely a brightening, but an absolute demarcation. Shadows sprang forth with crisp edges, stretching long and slender from the newly grown trees, defining every contour of the burgeoning landscape. The very atmosphere shimmered under its potent gaze, and for the first time a true, brilliant day dawned, commanding the firmament with unchallenged majesty. As the sun ascended, another celestial wonder materialized, a magnificent silvery counterpart. The moon, a serene and luminous sphere, began its gentle ascent, designed to reign over the ensuing night. Its light was not the raw, scorching brilliance of the sun, but a soft, reflective glow, a comforting luminescence that promised solace and mystery after the day's fervor. And as if to complete the cosmic symphony, countless shimmering pinpricks of light exploded across the now darkening canvas of the vast expanse. These were the stars, innumerable and distant, each a tiny, fiery jewel scattered across the boundless velvet, providing a celestial tapestry that spoke of infinite wonders and measureless distances. They were eternal sentinels, charting the heavens, guiding forces in the cosmic dance. The earth, bathed in the distinct light of its new celestial guardians, sighed with new-found rhythm. Day gave way to night with predictable grace, each transition a breathtaking spectacle of color and shadow. The seasons, though yet to unfold in their full glory, were now nascent in the very design of the world, marked by the cyclical journey of sun and moon. The cycle of days and years was etched into the very fabric of time, a grand, continuous narrative. The Creator observed this majestic interplay, the perfectly orchestrated dance of the heavens, and declared it good. The fourth day concluded, leaving the cosmos not merely illuminated, but regulated, governed by a magnificent, precise order that would guide all life and time. The stage was set, and the grand theater of existence now had its primary lights, ready for the next act. The profound stillness that had settled over the newly flourishing earth after the Creator's third day of work was not one of completion, but of eager anticipation. The verdant forests, now firmly rooted, and the vibrant flora that carpeted the land, whispered with the gentle currents of air that now stirred. Yet, above this blossoming world, the sky, though a magnificent expanse of blue, still lacked the definitive markers of time and guidance. It was a ceiling of promise, waiting for the jewels that would adorn it and dictate the rhythms of existence. As the unseen boundary between the third and fourth day was crossed, the Creator's voice, a resonant hum that permeated the very fabric of the cosmos, echoed once more. Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years, and let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth. And with that pronouncement, the cosmic canvas, which had so long displayed a glorious yet undifferentiated light, began to organize itself with unimaginable power and precision. From the ethereal glow that had defined day,
a new singular source of immense energy began to coalesce. It swelled, growing in intensity. Its brilliance gathered until it burst forth, a colossal sphere of incandescent fire. This was the sun, the greater light, forged to rule the day. Its nascent rays, potent and warm, pierced through the atmospheric layers, bathing the green earth in a golden glow that was entirely new. Shadows, sharp and distinct, stretched across the landscape for the very first time, playing tricks among the newly formed trees and across the rolling hills. The plants, which had sprung forth from the ground, now truly felt the embrace of warmth, of vital energy pulsing through their leaves, promising growth and life. But the Creator was not finished. As the sun climbed to its zenith, establishing its undeniable dominion, the opposing force for the impending night began its formation. From the lingering shadows and cooler, deeper blue of the sky, a softer, pearlescent orb began to form. This was the moon, the lesser light, destined to govern the night. Its presence, subtle yet powerful, carried a tranquil luminescence, a silver counterpoint to the sun's fiery gold. It would guide the waters, pull at the tides, and offer solace in the hours of darkness, a beacon for all that stirred under its gentle gaze. Then, with an elegant flourish that painted the cosmic dome, countless specks of brilliance ignited across the vast, inky canvas that the moon now presided over. These were the stars, an unfathomable multitude, each a distant sun in its own right, twinkling like diamonds scattered across velvet. They were placed not merely for beauty, but for purpose, to illuminate the vastness of space, to guide ancient mariners not yet born, and to silently declare the boundless creativity of their Maker. With the sun, moon, and stars firmly set in their courses, a complete celestial tapestry was unveiled. The earth, now vibrant with life and bathed in the defined cycles of day and night, seasons and years, stood as a testament to the Creator's meticulous design. The heavens declared the glory of God, a silent, eternal hymn sung by every celestial body, forever marking the passage of time for the world below. The fourth day concluded, leaving the cosmos alight, ordered, and profoundly beautiful.
The cosmic luminaries. The profound stillness that had settled over the newly flourishing earth after the Creator's third day of work was indeed not one of completion, but of eager anticipation. The verdant forests, now firmly rooted, and the vibrant flora that carpeted the land whispered with the soft rustle of their leaves, as if sensing the next grand act of creation. The sky above, though radiant with the lingering glory of the Creator's presence, still lacked the defined celestial bodies that would mark the passage of time and govern the cycles of the fledgling world. It was a canvas awaiting its masterstrokes, a silent stage poised for the grand entrance of its star performers. Then, with an authority that echoed through the fabric of existence, the Creator's voice resonated once more, piercing the quietude with a purpose that would forever alter the heavens. Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years, and let them be lights in the expanse of the sky to give light on the earth. And so it was. In an instant, an incandescent sphere of pure, blinding brilliance ignited in the firmament. It was the sun, a colossal furnace of perpetual fire, coalescing from raw energy and divine will. Its golden rays, strong and unwavering, immediately began to assert their dominance, painting the newly formed clouds with hues of fiery orange and deep crimson. This was the greater light, destined to rule the day, to warm the verdant earth, and to bathe all living things in its life-giving glow.
Its presence was not merely a source of illumination, but a powerful declaration, a constant reminder of the Creator's might and meticulous design. The very air shimmered with its arrival, a tangible warmth spreading across continents and oceans, energizing the nascent world. As the sun ascended to its majestic zenith, a counterpoint of serene luminescence began to manifest. Far across the vast expanse, a gentler, pearlescent orb took shape. This was the moon, the lesser light, designed to preside over the night. It drew its soft, ethereal glow from the mighty sun, reflecting its glory in a way that soothed rather than overwhelmed. Its cool, silver light cast intricate shadows across the landscapes, transforming the day's vibrant greens into mysterious, shimmering blues. The moon's silent dominion brought with it a sense of peace, a nocturnal rhythm for the world to follow, a beacon for the creatures of the dark. But the Creator's hand was not yet still. With a sweep of divine intention, countless myriad pinpricks of light burst forth across the vast, inky canvas of the night sky. These were the stars, jewels scattered across the cosmic tapestry, each one a distant sun, glittering with its own unique intensity. They appeared in clusters, constellations forming patterns of sublime beauty, hanging like diamonds on a velvet cloth. Each star, from the brightest beacon to the most distant, barely perceptible glimmer, was set precisely in its place, destined to join the moon in illuminating the night and to serve as celestial guides and markers for all time. The firmament, once an empty expanse, now pulsed with ordered grandeur, the greater light to govern the day, the lesser light and the stars to govern the night. They spun in perfect harmony, a cosmic clock meticulously calibrated, setting the rhythm for the Earth's existence, and the Creator saw that it was good. The fourth day concluded, leaving the heavens adorned with an eternal ballet of light, a testament to order and purpose, casting their steady glow upon a world now ready for its next great marvels.
Life takes flight and swims deep. The profound stillness that had settled over the newly flourishing earth after the Creator's fourth day of work was now punctuated by a subtle yet undeniable rhythm. The great luminaries, the majestic sun and the serene moon, meticulously orchestrated the ebb and flow of light and shadow, painting the landscape with a precise artistry. The verdant forests, the shimmering seas, and the towering mountains, now clearly defined by the celestial beacons, awaited their next infusion of life. The stage was set, the canvas prepared for dynamic movement. As the fifth dawn broke, washing the world in hues of soft gold and rose, a new intent vibrated through the very fabric of existence. The Creator, whose silent will had shaped mountains and carved oceans, now turned attention to the vast, deep waters and the boundless expanse of the heavens above. With a potent, all-encompassing whisper that resonated through the shimmering surface of the oceans and stirred the clear air, the divine decree was issued. Let the waters teem with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens above. Immediately, the deep quietude of the abyssal oceans began to stir. From the most profound trenches, from the swirling currents of the open sea, and from the gentle lapping of the shoreline, life erupted. Colossal forms, leviathans of unimaginable size, began to materialize, their vast bodies displacing immense volumes of water, creating majestic, slow-motion currents where none had been. Their ancient, profound eyes, like windows to the deep, reflected the nascent light filtering into their realm. These were the great sea creatures, sculpted from the very essence of the ocean, moving with an inherent grace that defied their scale. Alongside these magnificent behemoths, countless smaller forms burst forth in a kaleidoscope of life.
Schools of shimmering fish, like living jewels, darted through intricate coral forests that now sprouted from the ocean floor, forming vibrant, ever-changing ecosystems. Tiny crustaceans scurried across sandy bottoms, graceful jellyfish pulsed through the currents, and myriad shelled wonders populated every niche, from the shallowest tide pools to the darkest depths. The oceans, once a churning potential, now pulsed with a vibrant, intricate heartbeat, a symphony of silent movement and boundless life. Simultaneously, an equally breathtaking transformation commenced in the skies. From the very air, from the mists rising from the new waters, and from the verdant trees that stretched their branches skyward, life took wing. Small, swift birds, their feathers painted in every conceivable hue, burst into flight, their calls echoing through the new green forests, a joyous counterpoint to the rustling leaves. Majestic eagles, with broad, powerful wingspans, soared effortlessly on the unseen thermals, surveying their new, vast domain with keen, piercing eyes. Delicate hummingbirds flitted amongst the blossoms, their wings a blur of motion, seeking out the sweet nectar of the newly created flora. The skies, which had been silent witnesses to the Earth's grand formation, now filled with the harmonious chorus of avian life. Flocks wheeled and dove in synchronized ballets, their dynamic shadows dancing across the sunlit plains and sparkling seas. Nests, crafted with instinctual precision, began to form in the branches of the ancient-looking trees, silent promises of generations yet to come, of songs to be sung across the millennia. The fifth day concluded with the earth now vibrant not only with static beauty, but with dynamic, breathing life. The air thrummed with the beat of wings and the chirps of countless calls, while the waters churned with the flash of fins and the glint of scales. The Creator surveyed all that had been made on this fifth day, the living souls born of water and air, and it was deeply, profoundly good. A world that had been silent potential was now gloriously alive, breathing and singing.
The fifth day had drawn to a breathtaking close, leaving the nascent world humming with an unprecedented symphony of life. Azure skies, now vibrant with the darting forms of countless birds, echoed with their calls, chirps, coos, and the powerful beats of wings soaring on newly formed currents. Beneath the shimmering surfaces of the vast oceans, an equally magnificent spectacle unfolded. Schools of iridescent fish flashed through sun-dappled waters, great whales glided with serene majesty through abyssal depths, and myriad creatures, from the minuscule to the colossal, navigated the aqueous realms. The land, however, though cloaked in verdant forests and carpeted with lush flora, still held a profound, expectant quiet. It was beautiful, undeniably, yet its expanse awaited its designated inhabitants, its own unique pulse of life to match the dynamism of the air and sea. Then, with an eternal gaze that encompassed all that had been and all that was yet to be, the Creator's voice resonated once more, a gentle yet commanding tremor across the very fabric of existence. Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals, each according to its kind. And as these words unfurled, the earth itself seemed to stir, to breathe. From the rich soil, from the shadowy depths of caves, and from the sun-drenched plains, life began to emerge in an astonishing, bewildering array. First came the beasts of the field, majestic lions with manes like molten gold, sleek leopards camouflaged against dappled light, powerful bears emerging from ancient groves. Then followed the myriad of domestic creatures, gentle cattle grazing on tender grasses, nimble deer leaping through sun-dappled clearings, and the humble, industrious creatures that burrowed beneath the earth or scurried through the undergrowth. Each creature, perfectly formed, precisely adapted to its environment, bore the unmistakable imprint of divine design. The plains thrummed with hooves, the forests rustled with unseen movements, and the air, already alive with birdsong,
now carried the distant roars and playful bleats of a fully populated land. A vibrant, interconnected ecosystem burst forth, each species finding its place, its purpose, its unique song in the grand chorus of creation. Yet, even amidst this proliferation of life, a deeper silence settled, a pause of profound deliberation. For all the wonders that had been wrought, a void still remained, a space for a being unlike any other. The Creator looked upon the flourishing world, upon the teeming life, and a new thought, grander and more intricate than any before, began to take form. Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. With these words, a new act of creation, intimate and sacred, commenced. Not from the spoken word alone, nor from the waters or the land, but from the very dust of the earth, the Creator stooped. Gentle, powerful hands, which had sculpted mountains and carved oceans, now tenderly gathered the reddish soil, shaping it with unparalleled artistry. A form began to take shape, limbs, torso, a head, features so finely wrought they seemed to breathe even before life itself animated them. This was no mere animal, but a vessel designed for thought, for emotion, for a connection to the divine. The figure lay still, perfect in its earthly form, yet lifeless. Then the Creator leaned close, and into the nostrils of this meticulously crafted being breathed the very breath of life. A spark ignited. A tremor ran through the clay form. Muscles tensed, eyes fluttered open, revealing depths of nascent wonder and understanding. The man gasped, drawing in the new air, his lungs expanding with the first miraculous breath. He blinked, surveying the vibrant world around him, a world he had just entered, a world that was now, in part, his to tend and cherish. This was Adam, the first of humanity, bearing the divine spark, instilled with purpose, and gazing upon a creation that awaited his stewardship. The Creator looked upon Adam and upon all that had been made, and declared it not merely good, but very good. And then a blessing, a command, and a sacred trust were bestowed upon him. Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. The ultimate visual Bible experience had reached its profound crescendo, with humanity, crafted in the divine image, standing at the dawn of existence, ready to step into the garden prepared just for him.
The sixth dawn broke over a world already teeming with life, yet the Creator's vast canvas still held anticipation for its final, most intricate strokes. The vibrant tapestry of the skies, alive with the beating wings of birds, and the mysteries of the deep, swirling with countless aquatic forms, now called for an equal splendor upon the dry land. With a new command, a ripple of energy pulsed through the fertile earth. Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals, each according to its kind. And so it was. From the rich soil, imbued with the Creator's will, life burst forth in astonishing diversity. Herds of majestic beasts, their powerful legs shaking the nascent grasslands, appeared as if from nowhere, grazing peacefully. The air filled with the lowing of cattle, the bleating of sheep, and the snorts of powerful oxen. Close to the earth, myriad crawling creatures stirred, insects with iridescent wings, segmented worms tilling the soil, and reptiles, their scales shimmering in the morning sun, slithering through the undergrowth. And then came the wild animals, the swift gazelle, the cunning fox, the roaring lion, the lumbering bear, each embodying a unique aspect of untamed beauty and power, asserting their place in the burgeoning ecosystems. The plains, the forests, and the mountains, once quiet spectators, now vibrated with the rhythms of terrestrial existence, a grand menagerie brought forth in an instant. Yet even with this magnificent display, the Creator's work was not complete.
A profound silence descended once more, a quiet moment of divine contemplation. This next act would be different, more intimate, more profound. Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. The words resonated not as a command to the earth, but as an internal declaration, a blueprint for the culmination of all creation. From the dust of the ground, the Creator meticulously sculpted a form, not as an ethereal spirit, but as a being of flesh and bone, intricate and beautiful, bearing a resemblance to the divine itself. Every curve, every line, every detail was fashioned with deliberate, loving intent. This was not a being called forth from chaos, but carefully, personally crafted. When the form was complete, lying still upon the fresh earth, the Creator bent low and breathed into its nostrils the breath of life. And with that sacred inhalation, Adam, the first man, opened his eyes. A spark of divine intellect, self-awareness, and spirit animated him, setting him apart, a reflection of the Creator's own being. Adam stood, feeling the earth beneath his feet, the sun on his skin, hearing the symphony of new life around him. He looked upon the world not as an observer, but as a participant, given stewardship over all that had been made. But the Creator saw that even in this perfect world, it was not good for man to be alone. So a deep sleep fell upon Adam, and from his side the Creator fashioned a companion, Eve, completing the divine design, two beings made for partnership, communion, and love. The Creator looked upon all that had been made, from the cosmic dawn to the intricate beauty of humanity, standing in the garden he had prepared for them, a place of pure delight. Every detail, every creature, every shimmering leaf, and every star-dusted sky was perfect. "It is very good," the Creator declared, his voice filled with satisfaction and joy. And the sixth day ended, ushering in the first evening of humanity's existence, a testament to creation's ultimate purpose.
The crowning glory. The sixth dawn broke over a world already teeming with life, yet the Creator's vast canvas still held anticipation for its final, most intricate strokes. The vibrant tapestry of the skies, alive with the beating wings of birds, and the mysteries of the deep, swirling with the grace of fish and leviathans, now presented a rich, dynamic spectacle. Yet the sprawling plains, the towering mountains, and the deep valleys of the dry land, though carpeted with verdant flora, still awaited their true inhabitants, their co-stewards. A profound silence lingered in these terrestrial domains, a silent invitation for the next wave of creation. The Creator, whose gaze encompassed the entire nascent cosmos, now focused his boundless intention upon the firm ground he had separated from the waters. With another magnificent declaration, resonating not with a thunderous roar, but with an all-encompassing creative command, he spoke again, his words shaping reality itself. "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals, each according to its kind." And instantaneously the earth stirred. From the very dust and soil, life began to coalesce, to spring forth in an astonishing display of diversity and form. Where barren rock had been, now stout forms began to emerge, solidifying from the primal elements. The ground quivered, giving birth to a myriad of creatures, each distinct, each wonderfully designed for its environment. First came the cattle, great beasts of burden and grace, their hides varied, their movements powerful yet measured. They lumbered onto the plains, their hooves thudding softly on the rich earth, their deep bellows adding new bass notes to the symphony of creation. These were the livestock, destined to wander the pastures, gentle giants in the newly formed world. Then, from beneath stones and within the tangled roots of the burgeoning forests, a host of smaller creatures began to appear. These were the creeping things, scurrying and slithering, adding an intricate layer of detail to the vibrant ecosystem. Insects with iridescent wings buzzed into existence. Spiders spun their first delicate webs, and small reptiles basked in the warmth of the nascent sun. The ground itself seemed to breathe with their collective movements,
a continuous living carpet. And finally, with a surge of raw power and untamed beauty, the wild animals burst forth. Majestic lions with their flowing manes and piercing gazes stalked the savannas, their roars echoing across the valleys. Swift gazelles bounded across the plains, their elegant forms a blur against the green. Towering elephants, ponderous and wise, moved through the burgeoning forests, their sheer size a testament to the Creator's grandeur. Bears rumbled in the mountains, wolves howled their first songs to the moon, and countless other species, each unique in its design and purpose, filled every conceivable niche. The earth, once silent and empty of such life, now pulsed with the vibrant energy of these land creatures, a living, breathing testament to the Creator's boundless imagination. The world was now complete with its flora, its flying creatures, its swimming inhabitants, and its diverse land beasts. Every corner of creation vibrated with purpose and life. Yet, for all its splendor, a profound sense of anticipation still hung in the air, for the Creator had reserved his ultimate, most wondrous act for last. He gazed upon the entirety of his handiwork, a masterpiece of cosmic proportions, and a new thought, grander and more intimate than any before, began to form. This world, so meticulously crafted, so richly endowed, still awaited a steward, a reflection of himself, one who could appreciate, understand, and interact with the beauty and complexity of all that had been made. Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground, the Creator declared, his voice now imbued with an almost tender, deeply personal resolve. He reached down, his infinite hand descending to the fertile dust of the newly formed earth. With careful, deliberate movements, he began to gather the rich, dark soil, molding it, shaping it with an artist's touch. From the very dust of the ground, a form began to take shape, intricate and profound, distinct from all other creations, poised on the precipice of life, awaiting the divine breath.
The sixth dawn broke, painting the eastern sky with hues of rose and gold, over a world already humming with the symphony of countless lives. The Creator's vast canvas, now vibrant with verdant forests, shimmering waters, and soaring skies, still held anticipation for its final, most intricate strokes, the inhabitants of the dry land, and then the crowning jewel of all creation. With a whisper that stirred the very dust of the earth, the Creator commanded, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals, each according to its kind." And just as before, the divine will translated into immediate, tangible reality. From the rich, fertile soil, forms began to emerge. First, the majestic creatures of the plains, herds of graceful gazelles, their powerful legs poised for flight, sturdy oxen, their hides glistening under the nascent sun, destined to graze and aid, woolly sheep, bleating softly as they felt the first touch of the morning breeze. Then came the creatures that move along the ground, an astounding array of smaller, yet equally intricate beings, quick-footed rodents darting through undergrowth, slow-moving reptiles basking on warm stones, and countless insects, each a marvel of miniature engineering, beginning their vital dance across the burgeoning ecosystem. And then the wild animals, magnificent and diverse. The roar of a lion, deep and resonant, echoed across distant hills for the first time, a declaration of its sovereignty. The stealthy pounce of a leopard, its spotted coat blending seamlessly with dappled light, showcased an apex predator's grace. Towering elephants, with their gentle might, surveyed their new domain, their ancient eyes reflecting the wisdom of their creator. Each creature, perfectly adapted, perfectly formed,
took its place in the grand design, adding new textures, sounds, and movements to the terrestrial tapestry. The creator looked upon them and saw that it was good. Yet the creator's work was not complete. There remained a profound purpose, a unique expression of divine thought, distinct from all that had come before. With an intentionality that thrummed through the very fabric of existence, the creator declared, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." And so, from the dust of the ground, the creator meticulously began to sculpt. A form unlike any other began to take shape, mirroring the divine in spirit and intellect. Every curve, every line, every intricate detail of muscle and bone was fashioned with loving care. When the form was perfect, lying still and breathless upon the rich earth, the creator knelt. With a breath that carried the very essence of life, the creator breathed into the nostrils of the sculpted form, and man became a living being, his eyes opening for the first time to behold the miracle of the created world. Adam, as he would come to be known, rose, standing upright, a testament to the creator's ultimate artistry, infused with reason, emotion, and an innate capacity for relationship. Still, Adam was alone in his kind, a solitary figure amidst a thriving world. The creator, observing this, knew that it was not good for man to be alone. A deep slumber fell upon Adam, a profound rest orchestrated by the divine hand, and from his side, from the very core of his being, a new form was drawn forth, molded with the same divine artistry, yet distinct in its grace and beauty. When Adam awoke, he beheld Eve, the woman, perfectly formed and standing before him, a reflection and complement to his own being. Together they stood, the pinnacle of creation, imbued with a sacred trust, to nurture, to explore, and to cherish the magnificent world that had been brought forth from boundless void to vibrant reality in just 6 days. The Creator looked upon all that had been made, and behold, it was very good. The 6th day drew to a close, a day of unparalleled fulfillment and joy.
Chapter 20, Scene 20, The Crowning Glory Perfected. The 6th dawn broke, painting the eastern sky with hues of rose and gold, over a world already humming with the symphony of countless lives. The Creator's vast canvas, now vibrant with verdant forests, shimmering waters, and soaring skies, still held anticipation for its final, most intricate strokes. The stage was set, a masterpiece of cosmic engineering and organic wonder, yet it awaited the conscious mind, the reflection of its maker, the soul imbued with purpose and free will. With a profound and focused intent, the Creator turned his gaze upon the rich, fertile earth, a specific patch within a breathtaking garden already blooming with unparalleled beauty. This was the Garden of Eden, a sanctuary brimming with every tree pleasant to the sight and good for food, watered by 4 mighty rivers that flowed from its heart. Here, amidst the gentle murmur of unseen breezes and the soft rustle of leaves, the ultimate act of creation was to unfold. The Creator reached down, not with a physical hand, but with an energy that sculpted and formed, drawing from the very dust of the ground. From the earth that had given birth to mountains and trees, from the soil that nurtured the vibrant flora, he meticulously fashioned a form. It was a shape unlike any other, erect and noble, mirroring the divine image, yet undeniably part of the created world. Every curve, every joint, every vessel was intricately woven from the elemental dust, a testament to the Creator's unparalleled artistry. Still, the form lay inert, a perfect sculpture awaiting its spark. Then the Creator bent low, and with a breath, a sacred, life-giving breath drawn from the very essence of existence, he breathed into the nostrils of the sculpted form. It was a breath that transcended mere air. It was the breath of life itself, imbuing the dust with consciousness, spirit, and a living soul. A tremor ran through the form. Eyelids fluttered, then opened, revealing eyes that for the first time gazed upon the glorious world. A gasp of air, a sudden, powerful intake,
filled lungs that had never breathed before. Adam, the first man, rose to his feet, a living being, a pinnacle of creation, standing in awe amidst the paradise prepared for him. Wonder filled his eyes as he surveyed the vibrant tapestry around him, the lush trees, the fragrant flowers, the creatures that now regarded him with curious, gentle gazes. He walked, he ran, he spoke, his voice echoing through the pristine air, learning the symphony of his new home. Yet, amidst this perfection, the Creator observed a subtle solitude. Adam, though surrounded by beauty and life, was alone in his kind. And so, as the sun began its descent, painting the western sky in hues of orange and violet, the Creator caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. While he slumbered, a rib was gently drawn from his side, not with pain, but with divine precision. From this very essence, a new form was shaped, molded with the same loving care, and breathed into with the same sacred breath. When Adam awoke, he was no longer alone. Beside him stood Eve, woman, companion, helper, fashioned from his own being. A profound joy filled Adam's heart as he recognized her as bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. Together they stood in the garden, innocent and pure, the stewards of this magnificent world, blessed by their Creator. The sixth day concluded. The Creator surveyed all that had been made, from the cosmic dawn to the emergence of humanity, and behold, it was not merely good, but very good. With a profound sense of accomplishment, the Creator rested on the seventh day, hallowing and sanctifying it. The work was complete. The beginning of everything had culminated in life, love, and the sacred bond between Creator and created. The stage was now set for the unfolding drama of existence, a saga that would span generations, from the Garden of Eden to the palaces of Egypt and beyond.